важливо. Наразі у нас наступна презентація. Це неймовірна історія під назвою Bryggeriets. Correct? Bryggeriets. Це Мальмо, Швеція, хлопці, скейтбординг-організація створила неймовірний коледж. Ми були в Мальмо в вересні 23-го року, і ми просто неймовірно надихнулися цією ідеєю, тому ми хочемо щось подібне створити разом з хлопцями тут, в Україні. І у них це дуже круто працює. І зараз у нас підключиться Джон. Він співзасновник Bryggeriets коледжу. Це дуже крута історія, тут дуже надихаюча. І зараз ми його підключимо. Підключився вже Джон? Не підключився? Добре. Зараз ми йому напишемо. Try to call him. Так, трошки поки у нас технічне підключення онлайн-трансляції, тобто трошки по нашому сьогоднішньому таймінгу. У нас зараз презентація Bryggeriets Швеції, потім у нас є друга презентація вже офлайн від нашого колеги Густава, теж з Мальмо, про Skate-Friendly City. Дуже важлива історія. Потім у нас є кава-брейк і далі ще 3 презентації з Іспанії, Молдови та Латвії. І після того у нас ще один кофі-брейк і 2 невеличкі, а може і величкі дискусії з приводу social impact, соціальних змін у молоді в Україні та Street Culture Olympic, пропагування і промоція і вообще участь Street Culture спільноти в скейтбординг Олімпіки, в брейкінг Олімпіки, ну, спорт вищих досягнень, як це все відбувається. Також поговоримо про баскетбол 3х3, про паркур, про BMX і взагалі про українську історію, як це все відбувається, для того, щоб зрозуміти how it work. Ось, як у нас там з підключенням? Окей, супер. Тобто ми чекаємо зараз Джона, трошки ще додам з приводу Legends 2, з попереднього нашого спікера, що хлопці дійсно створили неймовірний продакт цього проєкту, і він постійно у них розвивається, щось нове додається, але саме для мене, як найважливіша історія, це Rep Your Country, коли змагається країна на країну, а з України завжди приїжджає по 50-100 людей на цей івент. Ми завжди перемагаємо, і останні 2 роки, коли почалася повномасштабна війна, агресія Росії, то неймовірно об'єдналися всі, хто залишився за кордоном, і 22-й рік були всі просто знищені. Перше місце, неймовірна перемога, і в 23-му році ще раз. І в цьому році, я думаю, ми продовжимо цю історію, і це, ну, дуже цікава історія, що там, в 23-му році в фіналі ми були з Казахстаном, в 22-му році ми були в фіналі з Бразилією. Це був, ну, дуже потужний брейк, дуже потужний репрезент. Ось, я думаю, що в цьому році ми повторимо цю історію. Ось, і думаю, що нам вдасться вивезти великий автобус учасників на цей фестиваль. Всім рекомендую. Це, ну, дуже величезна подія в світі хіп-хоп культури. Концерти, ви бачили, Lords of the Underground, Das FX, Onyx, дуже багато різних. І все це відбувається, якщо переводити на Україну, це все відбувається в Охтирці. Ну, щоб ви розуміли рівень типу фестивалю, там 70 країн приїжджає. Тобто, що там, підключення є? He's like this. He's slowly. Okay. Sweden lagom. Don't care, we come. Окей, так, да. Словаччина завжди підтримувала Україну, і цей фонд, який вони створили, теж трошки про це. Він допоміг реально там до 60 тисяч євро надавалась пряма фінансова допомога кожному хіп-хоп-артисту, брейкінг-атлету в Україні. Також МЖ займається, зараз ми їздимо нашою збірною по брейкінгу, їздимо постійно на змагання. За 23-й рік ми були на олімпійських змаганнях 9 разів, від Японії до Бразилії, від Гонконгу до Польщі. І йдемо зараз 5 атлетів нашою збірною, 3 дівчат і 2 хлопців ідуть до Олімпіади 24-го року. Це дуже цікавий момент, бо хлопці теж працюють, і ми їм десь ми разом допомагаємо і т.д. і т.п. Все, добре, ми дочекалися Джона. Джон, hello.
Hello.
Yeah. You are around?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
That's great. I just got a very friendly phone call from my former colleague and your next speaker, Gustav, reminding me that there's a 1-hour time difference between Ukraine and Sweden.
Yes.
But now I'm here. Sorry about the delay.
Super. So we represent you to our audience. You look our audience offline and a lot of people in live stream. Thank you so much for support us and support Ukraine. Add to our Street Culture Forum. Please represent your Magic Gymnasium College Bryggeriets. Welcome, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I wish I was on site with you in Lviv. Time didn't allow it this time, but I hope next time we meet live, and that this presentation is perhaps the first step in a joint venture, and also a small way of us to stand with Ukraine. And I will share a presentation and talk about Bryggeriets Gymnasium, the so-called skateboarding high school in Sweden. And here we go. So Bryggeriets Gymnasium is a high school out of Malmö, Sweden, that's focusing on skateboarding and fine arts, photo and film. Over the last 17 years, we have gotten a lot of attention from all over the world, which we are very happy about. But it's important to understand too that this is first and foremost a very regular high school. And I'm gonna see if I can skip to the next. Okay, so my name is John Dahlquist. My occupation is skateboard teacher and vice principal at the Bryggeriets Gymnasium. I was a trained social worker, and I have been a skateboarder in Malmö since 1990. And over that span of time, I have been a part of the Malmö skate scene, from everything from making skateboard videos, starting companies, writing for skateboard magazines, and also part of starting the non-profit NGO Bryggeriets Skate Park that later became the founder of this high school where I have been working for the last 17 years. So just to understand what Bryggeriets Gymnasium is, it was funded in 2006. And in Sweden, there's a world unique law that allows for non-profit NGOs, even companies and different organizations to apply for school permits to start schools in the same way that the municipalities do in Sweden and all over the world. So we started the school in 2006, and before then, skateboarding hadn't really been a school subject anywhere. And when the school was fully up and running on the third year, since high school runs for 3 years, we were close to 150 students, and roughly half of them are skateboarders. And with those students over a decade and a half, I have turned skateboarding into a school subject. And since we have a pretty unique profile, students come from Malmö, which is around the city and close enough for students to commute. And they also come from the part we call Sweden, which is further away, so far away that you have to move away from home in order to attend high school. And because of a treaty between the Nordic countries, we're also allowed to have students from Norway and Denmark. And every once in a while, we do have Icelandic students too. But because our school systems are similar and the language is similar, we can teach in students from all those countries. And it might be good to point out also that we rarely or never have students from Finland, because the Finnish school system is very different, and also only a small amount of the Finnish students actually speak Swedish. But most of all, before we go any further here, it's important, and I want to stress, speaking as a school leader and vice principal, that the aim for this education is to provide every student that comes to our school with a high school diploma and prepare for higher studies. So from the outside, it might look like a skateboard high school where skateboarding is in focus, and it is, but there's a lot more, and the great skateboarding is mostly a side effect. Because over the years, we have seen that our concept has given us some of the best skateboarders, and I would say some of the greatest people in the world. But this is never the aim. The aim is to provide good education in a way that suits our students. And if they become culture bearers, skateboard professionals, filmmakers, artists, or entrepreneurs, that's great. But most of all, we want them to know history, English, how to spell and write, grammars, and count. And for you guys to perhaps see similarities to your local school system, I have a slide here that just describes in very short what high school is in Sweden. So our high school is and all high schools provide a 3-year program between grade 10 through 12. And the profiles are skateboard, fine art, photo, and film at our school, which gives us a mix of artistic outlets and also different kinds of students. So it's not all skateboarders. And we have found that having an artistic, creative approach to skateboarding seems to be a good way to cover a lot of sides of the skateboard culture, rather than perhaps just focusing on skateboarding as a sport. Like I tried to say, but I want to say it again, we teach all mandatory subjects in high school for higher education. So Swedish, English, math, geography, history, etc. are all part of the high school diploma and education given. And these are mandatory to the students, but they're also mandatory to the school, meaning that all high schools in Sweden have to teach these subjects. And also, as in any other high school and the whole school system in Sweden, grades are given at the end of every course or school year. I want to point that out as a frame of this this school, showing the similarities to school in general. And in the next step, I want to say a couple of things about the students and school philosophy. And the photo you're seeing to your right, I want to symbolize, to use as a symbol for a couple of different things. One is that I'm in the picture together with the students, and as you can see, we're trying to do the same trick. And I want to show this as a way of showing that I and most of my teacher colleagues believe in a teacher-student relation where this teacher is active in the learning. And it has shown to me time and time again that being a teacher who gets involved and does the assignments with the students has a lot of power and builds strong bonds. And those bonds can later be used to push students to the next level. And the next thing that I want this picture to show is what a classroom can be. Right now we're doing a research project with a university in London, the Goldsmith University, trying to figure out the answer to the question, what constitutes a classroom? And any teacher will know that there's limits to what a classroom with desks and a scene in the front and a whiteboard allows for. And I have the great privilege of trying to do teaching and learning in a lot of different environments. What you see in the photo is our skate park that's located in the middle of the school, and where all our classes take place for some of the time. We do spend time in a regular classroom too, because those rooms are great for some things, but we do spend a lot of time in movement and teaching each other by trial and error. So the philosophy here is compared to when I went to school. We want our students to bring their passion and their interest to school rather than leaving it at home. Furthermore, we want to use the synergy effects of having fun, being passionate, but on the same time be taken seriously by peers, teachers, and the educational system as a whole. And I think it sends a strong message to our students when we try to involve what they're interested in the formal education, showing and telling them that what they're passionate about has meaning and value. one thing that was never the intention, but the more I work, the more I see this, is that in Sweden and the world in general, obesity is a big problem. And at our school, we have hardly any obesity because the skateboarders, they move around as part of their school day. Every recess, every class with skateboarding, there's always movement. And movement in a time where when we spend a lot of time on our phones and computers is sometimes hard to get in. And by including skateboarding in the school day, this is a natural thing that just flows with the day. And I want to challenge everyone in the audience there, and think about your workplace and how you could get movement and exercise into your day. From what I understand, some of you are dancers, so that's pretty natural. But for the rest of us, it's kind of tough. And that's a big win here. We also want to use the passion that the students bring to inspire one another. And we have seen great results of mixing all levels of skating and all sides of the skateboard culture. Usually in school and sports, we try to divide people by how good they are, the gender, or age. In skateboarding, we see that it's a good thing to have beginners skate together with pros, filmers spend time with active skaters, and there's no one who's good or bad or very much hierarchy, but we can see that the whole group or culture, if you will, gains from the mix. And in the end, we hope and we can see that this inspires on all levels. And by doing so, one of my goals as a skateboard teacher is not for everyone to be really good at skating, because hard skateboard tricks aren't going to take you very far. But the camaraderie, the network, the understanding of what it takes to try something 1,000 times before you get it right has a lot of value. And in the end, we want everyone to find their place in skateboarding and a spot where they enjoy themselves and thrive. And there's a great win in everything you get to do within the school system, because while you're a student in a school, your parents, society as a whole will think that you're doing something important. And so for those 3 years, you're seen as citizen, active citizen in the making. And so our hope here is to do something that you care about while society thinks you're doing something important, and that the end result will add to society as a whole. And again, last but not least, we're doing all this just to prepare for higher studies. In a way, we hope that works for the students and is not a top-down flow, but meeting the students and creating education on an eye-to-eye level. Our students often talk about working with reality and finding meaning in doing things that is outside the school, because school is often seen as this make-believe bubble that is sort of free from the rest of the world. And we find a lot of power in trying to connect our assignments, our education, and our way of working by doing things that holds value outside the school. And with the skateboard community, I have amazing support from all over the world. And I think that's one thing that our different street cultures, if you will, can gain from and use while creating education. And I've given just a couple of examples to show the things we've done recently. Our alumni, Gusten, made a video project for his final assignment before graduation. And it was called Graduation, and was a skateboard video. And with that video, he got an invitation to headline a film festival in Croatia called the Vlad Film Festival. And needless to say, a high school student who gets an invitation to be part of an international film festival is going to find that extra spark and motivation to go above and beyond. And during that time, we also made a collaboration, and our design students got to take over a Swedish sunglasses brand called CHPO, where they designed, marketed, and sold sunglasses and got 100% of the profits to raise money to go to Croatia. So the whole class ended up going to Croatia as part of their education to be part of the film festival. We have also worked with skateboard companies. And in my mind as a teacher, I would never say that I fool the students, but I can see that if I let the students make skateboards, which they're passionate about, and also connect to a real skateboard company, in this case, Love and Skate in London, England, they don't think about learning. They think about making great skateboards. And during evaluation and throughout that time, they realize that this is perhaps the best way of learning. And the board you see on the picture there is the winning pitch of a student who used to hate school. And when he attended Bryggeriets Gymnasium, he realized for the first time in his life that school could be enjoyable. And looking back, he said he had the feeling of a 3-year vacation. And our students are also involved and active in doing different events, such as skateboard contests and exhibitions. And for a school, it's always hard to know whether you're doing a good job or not. It's hard to measure if you're a good education. We're trying and we're working with scholars and universities to find out how well we're doing, what we can do to evolve, because a school is not a school unless it's ever evolving and never satisfied. But we know this through our polls and our talk with our students, is that when you build a school and include students' interest, students enjoy going to school. We also know that students feel safe and seen in our school, a school where they're, in their words, allowed to be themselves. And we also know that no matter the grades, that our students have a feeling of support, and that the teachers do believe in them, and in a bigger perspective, believe in the next generation as able and competent. We can also see that students grow as people in an inclusive environment that covers skateboarding and creativity in different ways. Again, by taking in as many sides of skateboarding or art, photo film as possible, it seems to have a great effect on learning and growth, rather than trying to isolate one part of it. Because it's kind of conventional, we also see that this format gives great opportunities to create and give teaching and learning in a way that we believe in and want to try. Last but not least, it creates this army of just great people in skateboarding in the world who have gone through the system and have great loyalty to the school and are willing to come back and share their stories and give guest lectures. From left to right, we have Herman Steine, one of the greatest handrail skaters of all time. Sarah, the first student to ever turn pro, still professional skateboarders and well-renowned photographer. Jacke Ovgren, artist and illustrator who makes a lot of board graphics for Polar skateboard company, also based in Malmö. Oski, of course, a great ambassador and two-time world champion. And then Fernando Bramsmark to the right, who is ending a professional career and now has the time to come back and share his stories and just be part of the school again. And on my watch, we have 1 minute and 17 seconds for questions. And I also want to share here, it's easy to get a hold of me through Semester Skate on Instagram or my email address. And I'll be happy to send answers or a bunch of links to articles and videos that can showcase our school.
Okay, John, you hear me?
I hear you.
Super. Thank you so much for your magic presentation and for your job. It's amazing, really. We're really inspired when we've been with Gustav show us what is Bryggeriets. We really inspire, and now we understand it's a real good work when passion it's your profession, you know. It's always interesting, and we try to took your example, and I hope you help us with Bryggeriets creating something in Ukraine, here in Lviv, and maybe in Lutsk, and maybe Kiev. So it's really important to share this experience, because in Ukraine it's important passion education, and if you have good passion for your deal, it's the next level of your profession. Thank you so much for your work, and yeah, we don't have you have question? Okay, we have one question. I try to explain.
Hey John, my name is Mike. I'm the head of board for Skateboarding of Ukraine Association. Thanks for a nice presentation, and as I noticed that you already follow us on Instagram, and thanks for paying some attention to our activities. Yeah, so basically my question was about what do you think is it crucial for your activities that they are ran by skateboarders, or it's all about the passion of skateboarding, and that doesn't matter if you're a skateboarder or not, that you've got to only to match the real needs of skateboarders and to match them as good as possible? or you've got to be specifically a skateboarder to understand all of the needs of the skateboarders. Because as I see, the results of your students are brilliant. You know, many are champions of different competitions worldwide. Yeah, I'm so... I know that Oscar is a brilliant skateboarder and I'm his fan. Yeah, so basically the question, is it crucial to be a skateboarder to match the skateboarder needs, or it's all about passion of skateboarder no matter who you are? Thank you.
Thank you. And to answer your question, I think the easiest answer is yes. I think you do need to be a skateboarder, or at least have a really deep understanding for the culture. And when I first started my work, I made a promise to both the class and to myself never to give an assignment or never to do anything to the skateboarders without asking them first. And to me, that has worked as a guarantee that I always have the class with me. And another thing that I've done is that I've always had a philosophy that if I have an idea and a student has another idea, to always value the student's idea higher. Because when it comes from a student, or in this case, a skateboarder who's ready to invest, then that has a lot of worth in itself. And keep in mind also that when we're working with skateboarding, we're working close to the student's identity. And to really understand that, I think, if not necessary, at least it helps a lot to be a skateboarder.
Thank you, John. Do you have any questions? Okay, our audience is finished. Thank you so much for your presentation, I say again. So see you, I hope, in the next hour meeting about how we can partnership with Malmo and Lviv, and how we can partnership with Bryggeriets and street culture for creating something educational project here in Ukraine. Thank you for your standing with Ukraine too.
Yeah, thank you so much, and send my best to Bodan. I hope he was doing okay in qualifications in Dubai.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, John. Next is Gustav make a presentation about Malmo and in offline here in Lviv.
Take it away, Gustav.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So, всім дякуємо. Давайте